welcome to another video. And just when we thought that we knew everything about the semi-truck, the Tesla semi-truck, all the shocking and mind-blowing details, boom, Tesla lays another amazing fact to us, this time about how much it's going to cost. And once again, it beat all of the expectations. I'm going to tell you what it is. We're going to analyze it. But before that, happy Thanksgiving if you are watching this in the United States. I actually realizing I don't really know which countries celebrate Thanksgiving. So if you're watching this live, please let me know in the chat where you're watching from. And if you guys celebrate Thanksgiving, if you're watching on the replay, definitely let me know in the comments. I'm just curious. But either way, happy Thanksgiving. I know what I'm thankful for this season, and it is you guys, my awesome community here on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you so much for watching and participating and just being part of this community. And if this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Alex. If you're interested in staying up to date with everything that's going on in the world of electric cars, you came to the right place. Go ahead and click on that subscribe button down there and a bell notification icon so you don't miss anything, and most importantly, become a part of this community. All right, let's talk semi-truck. I know we find out so many things about it. I've showed you guys videos and everything, and it was exciting. And I thought I was going to move on and talk about other news that were just kind of happening in the background, really, since Tesla kind of overshadowed everything. But we're back to the semi-truck because they have released the pricing, and people were guessing that this truck, just because of the battery, everyone's guessing the battery size should be about 1,000 kilowatt hour. Just because of the size of the battery, it should cost about $200,000 to $250,000. Given the amazing 500-mile range fully loaded. And I don't mean like with options, I mean like with stuff in the back in the trailer. But they released the numbers, and check them out. Starting price is $150,000. That's for 300-mile range. As you know, there are two ranges. I think a lot of people kind of lost that fact in all of the excitement, but there's a 300-mile range and 500-mile range. 300-mile range will be $300, and a 500-mile range will be $180,000. And a Founder Series is going to be $200,000, but that will have, I'm assuming, the same $500-mile range. Cook in the chat says, happy Thanksgiving, Alex. Thank you, and same to you, my friend. All right, well, so by the way, let me just mention that the entry-level semi-truck, just a regular one, diesel one, is about $100,000. And if you want to get, the one that's relatively decent, we're talking about 110, 115, 120,000 for a decent semi-truck. So just to compare, to what people, what companies are paying right now. Well, this is mind-blowing because, I guess what we can assume is that Tesla has made some real major advances in battery technology. We're still working on some assumptions. We're working on an assumption that's at 1,000 kilowatt hour battery. But if you look at the difference here, and if you look at the difference here between 300 and 500-mile range, as you can see, it's about we're talking about $15,000 for the extra 100 miles, which should be about 200 kilowatt hour battery, really. So you're paying $15,000 for 200 kilowatt hour battery. That's pretty damn good, if all of the other calculations are right. By the way, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe your calculations are a little bit different. I'm just basing it what I've seen so far in analysis, what I know myself as well. But this is a game changer. I mean, and maybe that's how they're going to be able to keep the prices the same for the Model S, Model X, and Model 3, and still be able to increase the range drastically in the next few years, if this is really the breakthrough in technology that they've accomplished. Now, let's remember that the Model 3 upgrade is $9,000, and you don't even get 100 miles out of it. Of course, the battery is much smaller. I mean, the car is much smaller, really, what I should say. And it takes much more energy to move this huge truck with a full load and extra 100 miles than the Model 3. But nevertheless, just putting that in the equation, that still is I'm still kind of mind blown. A lot of people are just saying, listen, it looks like they've made some real discoveries with the lithium ion battery. So let's see. In the chat, EcoKid says, hi Alex, the top of the range Scania truck cost about 150,000 euros. Yeah, I mean, those trucks do go to like 200,000 US dollars easily. So I was just saying that that was the entry level truck that costs 100,000, you know, average one or decent ones are 120. So Tesla's pricing is actually not that much far off. And don't forget, the savings from maintenance and the savings from obviously not having to pay for diesel and deal with fluctuating diesel prices is, you know, on top of that. You know, we thought the math was just fine if we thought that this truck was going to cost 250,000. Now, the math is really going to be right if this is really the case. Mitchell in the chat says, no way, that's it's that cheap. Yes, it's that cheap. I mean, I think, I mean, my mind is blown. Tesla P85D is watching from Lithuania. Let me know if you are celebrating Thanksgiving. If you are, happy Thanksgiving. Dirk in the chat says something is definitely changing as to the battery technology. Roadster with 200 kilowatt hour battery is this tiny car while maintaining truck frunk, and now again the semi price. Amazing. Yeah, that's another thing, right? How did they fit 200 kilowatt hour battery in the Roadster and still let it, you know, there's still a weight of the battery. So we're definitely in the dark here, but this is actually very exciting, I think. Tiboski 78 says getting a new semi in California that meets emission standards is extremely difficult and expensive. That is correct. So I did a separate show a few days ago about what this really means for the trucking industry, because, you know, they have different standards than us when we buy our cars, right? We want a pretty car that goes really far and we're good with flat screen monitors. That's not the case for that industry, obviously. And one of the main things that this industry is struggling is, you know, it's the diesel trucks. They emit a lot of crap into the atmosphere, and the regulations, especially in the state where I'm at, like California, they're really cracking down, trying to be very green. And it's been a problem. This truck solves that problem. You don't have to ever worry about the green regulations here or in other states, or especially other countries in Europe and China. So that solves that problem as well. Mr. Carico 3 says hello from Portugal again. Thank you, my friend, for joining me again in a live chat. Physics says, did they state the total weight of the semi-truck without load? I don't think they have. So that's why I'm saying all these calculations are kind of, you know, very preliminary, but still we're using preliminary guesses versus preliminary guesses, and that still sounds pretty damn good. Again, I welcome other theories here. I'm just basing it on what I know and what I've heard. So EcoKids say they haven't gotten a 200 kilowatt battery for the Roadster yet, unless you measure the range and also the weight of the car. Well, that's what people are saying. That's a 200 kilowatt hour battery in a Roadster. Whether or not it was there for the demo, I don't know. Maybe they're still developing it. You know, there's still 2 years to production, but that's what they're saying about the Roadster. Hello, Prochas Vara says hello from East Africa. How are you there, man? Have you seen any Teslas there? I'm wondering if the Teslas are there, at least in maybe small amounts. I'm originally from Russia, and people tell me in Russia there's like 5 Teslas, which is kind of disappointing. But I know Russians like Mercedes. All right, guys, let me move on to a comment of the day. This one is a good one. You know, I have to say, this comment is so simple. But it's kind of, I don't want to say blew my mind, but I'm almost embarrassed I even had to think twice about it. So it comes from one of the regulars here. So thank you so much for participating. T. Coley 100. He said, although it's great that more and more companies are joining the EV movement, I do not plan on purchasing Fisker eMotion, because that's what yesterday's video was about. He says, the thing that Tesla has that no one else has is Elon Musk. Let's face it, people purchase a Tesla electric car because it's a great car with a wonderful tech. They invest in Tesla because they believe in Elon. Elon Musk is Tesla's most valuable asset, and that is what the competition has to contend with. And, you know, I gotta tell you, man, I've always been talking about, you know, the difference between, you know, Tesla and other cars that are coming out, and it's usually, you know, the technology and the supercharging network and the fact that they're ahead in many different ways. But, you know, that is such an obvious thing I never even mentioned. You're right. Elon Musk is a major differentiator because he's the guy who doesn't really need the money, right? He's not doing this company to feed his family or even become a millionaire or billionaire. He's there already. So he's doing it for, you know, no other reason, because he definitely wants to. Here's a great picture. I really, oh, whoa, I really like this picture of him. You know, and he is pushing everybody forward. Everybody else is following, and you're right. He is one of the, if not the biggest assets. Just like Steve Jobs was the biggest asset of Apple, as you know, as soon as he basically passed. You know, the new guy, really, what has really happened or been innovated by Apple? Not much, if anything. And, you know, think what you want of Steve Jobs. I personally didn't think he was a nice guy, but he was the innovator for Apple. The same thing with Elon. So I have to say that maybe I'm like the last person coming to reality with this one. But yeah, it's something that I'm definitely going to add to my list of the big differences between Tesla and other cars. I don't see any other leaders emerging from other companies saying, yes, I'm going to lead the way and I have a vision, the visionary. The closest I would say we could come to, as far as from other companies, I would say the CEO of Dyson, right, who is, you know, kind of been working on this for a while and sounds like it's his baby. So that's the only thing I can think of. So yeah, physics just correcting, there was a typo. It's not just about Elon Musk, but it's not just about Elon Musk, but it is definitely a big difference maker, and I think it's one of the biggest assets that they have. I'm including that on my list from now on. I'm kind of embarrassed that I haven't yet. And you guys know, you know, a lot of people, sometimes not a lot, but some people accuse me in comments that I'm, you know, being such a Tesla fanboy and everything. But if you watch my channel for more than a week, you know that I have given Tesla plenty of hard time, and I think rightfully so. And Elon Musk plenty of hard time, you know, over his, you know, the Love Day competition, and over his promises, and over his referral program. And I mean, I think I'm pretty tough on him. So, but at the same time, I'm going to give him credit where the credit is due. And this is one of those times, you know. So, yeah, I just, you know, this is just kind of a side note. But the main story is obviously the pricing for the semi truck, and yeah, it's just kind of blew my mind. Yeah, guys. Okay, so tomorrow, unless something else comes out, we're gonna talk about something that I found was interesting about Faraday Future, another company. Unless something else comes out, and we're gonna talk about the Mercedes Concept EQ. If you guys haven't really seen it yet, I'll show you a picture later. But yeah, this is pretty much it. Just wanted to say happy Thanksgiving for everybody. Don't stuff yourselves too much tonight. I'm gonna try not to. But yeah, I will go live once again, same time tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy Thanksgiving. I will see you guys next time, and remember to stay charged.